What if it's actually possible to change anything? What if you know something no one else on this planet knows? What if what you really want is not what you think it is, but something far, far greater than that? What if now is the time to express and choose everything you came here to be?
It's the foundation of this reality. What we're going to do is we're going to break that apart and give you a new foundation off of which to create. And it's not normal, okay? And we're not going to try and tell you what's wrong with this reality. We're not going to tell you that any part of it is wrong. It's your choices that created your reality the way it is.
I'll never forget my first foundation class. I sat there and I was leafing through the manual, and the way the class was organized was each participant read one page and then we went on to the next participant. This was a long time ago. We don't do it that way anymore. But I'll never forget, I was on page 25 and everybody else was reading page 6. And I was going, oh my gosh, somebody put in writing everything I've ever known. And that's really what this foundation is. It's like somebody put in writing everything you've ever known about the way the universe works, about the way reality works, about what's been limiting you, and about what doesn't have to limit you. And it starts opening up the possibilities for true choice. What it does, it touches upon and starts to help you unlock and undo permanently the bedrock of limitation of your life. And so what happens is you start to recognize that there's a totally different way of being and a totally different possibility for how you can be in the world. So people say, you know, is it like a 4-day cleanse? Well, it's like that. Imagine if you could do an energetic cleanse of your life. You know, imagine if you could somehow do a juice cleanse, but it cleansed all the judgment, you know, and cleansed all the unkindness you've been to you, and cleansed all the meanness that you feel like you've been, and the way you feel like you're not doing enough and being enough. Imagine those things could somehow be cleansed. It's kind of like that.
So how would I describe foundation to someone? The class foundation, a 4-day class, it's like you take the first class, which is the access bar. So you begin to know that you can start to change things. You know, there's a body process that does that. There's certain questions. And now it's like, are you willing to look at where you're functioning from without the judgment?
Foundation really is this 4 days of total overwhelm of tools that you can, you know, create your life with. And the reason I say total overwhelm is because it really, there are so many tools, and then we tend to think like, oh, I got to implement all of them at the same time. It's like, no, here is an entire toolbox. Now pick a tool you want to play with.
One of the things about these tools is I use them every day of my life still. And people would look at that and go, well, why do you need to? It's like, I don't need to. They just keep making my life better. What's interesting about this is you'll come with a problem, you know, a money problem, a body problem, a relationship problem, an unhappiness problem, or whatever it is. And we'll work on all kinds of things that some will seem like they directly address it. Some things will seem like they don't address it at all. And yet what happens is you'll work on something about money and your relationship changes. You'll work on something about happiness and your body changes.
You do not have to have problems in order to come to a foundation class. You do not have to have problems to come to any class at all. Although I would say a lot of people come feeling like they have problems. You can come if you'd like to create your life. You can come if you're curious about how you can have more fun. You can come if you're enjoying everything and you want something different.
Every 6 months to a year, we do a brand new foundation class. Because what we're interested in is what has changed in the world and what do we need to change to fit the changes in the world. Because everything changes all the time. So if we lived our lives from that same place of change, today's a new day, what do I get to do today? It's like that kind of possibility, that kind of choice can open the door to things that we've never even considered before.
Out of it, I would say that you could expect anything in your life to change, if not everything, to at least start changing. And there is no set, you get this out of it, except for one of the things I would say that people report over and over and over is they get a greater sense of peace, a greater sense of ease, a greater sense of gratitude, and a greater sense of awareness that they can create their lives and they can make choices for what they would like to choose.